right, guys, we are here. We are here with Ferrets. Say hello, Ferrets.
Okay.
So we're going to go through and we're going to look at all the ships. And actually, Waffles, while you're here, you want to jump into with your thoughts on some of these ships as well? I haven't asked him. I'm just roping him in, everybody. Because he did actually have a very good point when we talk about the Idris, and we'll talk about that. So, obviously, it is Aegis week, or Aegis day, or Aegis 2 days. The servers didn't crash. The Aegis has finally sold out for War Bond, and for store credits, it's sold out in literally a fraction of a second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It actually was up for a good half an hour, roughly-ish. 20 minutes, 25 minutes for War Bond. So, yeah, quite interesting. If you want to buy an Idris at War Bond, you're pretty good chances. All right, so let's go through. Let's break down the ships that are on sale and whether we think they're good value or not. And obviously, at the end of each ship, Fez, you feel free to jump in and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Fez can obviously jump in at the end of the ships, and then everybody else comment below. Sorry, I've got a headache. It's been a long couple of days. All right, so first thing we got is obviously the Avenger Stalker. It is $60. To me, probably not what you want. Even if you do go through and do bounty hunting, you can just buy the ship in game. What's the one that's the single seat prison transport?
Hawk.
Yeah, you can go through and buy the Hawk for a somewhat decent price in game. To me, the Stalker, the big thing is that it removes a lot of storage when it comes to having those prison cells. And to be honest, how often are you going to go and get 6 people and throw them in a prison cell before taking them back to get processed? Not to mention
Wait, are we talking about the Hawk here or the Cuddy Blue?
No, we're talking about Stalker, Avenger Stalker. It's Aegis Day.
Stalker has 6 pods?
Yeah, it doesn't have the 6 at the back.
I'm not for sure because I know the Cuddy Blue does.
No,
it has 6 pods in the back.
No, I'm pretty sure the Stalker has 6. It has 6 too. Avenger.
Isn't the Stalker the one with the EMP?
Yeah, no, it's the one that has it has 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on each side. Avenger Stalker.
That just shows how much I don't actually fly on other ships.
True. So at the end of the day, guys, obviously the Stalker is probably not worthwhile. You're going to sacrifice a lot of room in the ship. If you do want an Avenger, obviously I'm saying yes, definitely to the Avenger, but not just to the Stalker. The Titan is actually a really, really good starting ship. I would probably suggest people, if you do have a Aurora or a Mustang and you do want to upgrade to something, do get the Titan. That doesn't have the sacrificed room for the pods. It's just an empty cargo bay. It holds about 6 SU, I think it is, with cargo. So you can go through, do box missions, and also it is also pretty good for medium to small dogfighting as well. She can hold her own. She's only a small ship, but she can hold her own. So that's definitely interesting. And then the Renegade is obviously the version above the Titan, with obviously the better guns and the better missiles and stuff like that. But it is an extra $20. To be honest, you can buy the guns in game. So, yeah, and I don't think there's any difference in armor. There's no armor in ships at the moment anyway. But there's no difference in armor between the Titan Renegade and the Titan, as far as I know. Fez, feel free to correct me on that. No idea.
As far as the armor goes, I think there's like a basic implementation of it, but
yeah,
the nothing too was solid though.
Yeah. Obviously, Avenger Warlock is obviously the one that has the EMP. That is obviously $10 more than the Renegade or $30 more than the Titan. Look, it has an EMP in the back. It takes up a lot of room. to be honest, I would say, look, out of the whole Avenger series, just get the Avenger Titan. It's got cargo. It's pretty decent at dogfighting. You can upgrade its weapons, and then obviously at the end of the day, you can also do box missions as well. The Eclipse is a mighty fine looking ship, but at the end of the day, it has a bomb on it. It's fun. It's short, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's pretty much single purpose. You're not going to be able to do box missions or anything with it. It's not like you can strap the boxes to the wings. But it is fun to fly. So obviously if you can go down to hire it for 2 days, definitely suggest you do that. The Gladius is a really good dogfighting ship, and it's also really important that people know how to fly it, because obviously we are having Squadron 42 come out sooner or later. And at the end of the day, if you do have an extra $90 US, I'm suggesting you buy the Gladius and learn how to fly, because then when Squadron 42 does come out, you will have obviously that upper hand. Just keep in mind though, it is a single purpose ship, meaning dogfights. You can't really do anything else much with it but dogfighting and bounty hunting. But if you're into the combat, yeah, the Gladius is well worth having a look at. The Gladius variant is $10 more than the Gladius. $20 more than the Gladius. It just has upgraded weapons and stuff like that. Look, to be honest, I wouldn't worry about the Valiant. I'll just worry about getting the Gladius. But at the end of the day, obviously, it's up to people what they get. The Hammerhead is $725. It is great for orgs. It is great for people that have 7 or 8 people that want to fly around in their ship. It can do box missions, although it's not designed for it. It can fly in that mode too, so obviously there's that. But at the end of the day, it's a big beast, and parking it on top of a hill is generally problematic because it's so big. But at the end of the day, that's going to happen with any big ship. As for the Hammerhead, obviously if you have 6, 7, 8 crew member, obviously A-OK. If you don't, if you're a single person or it's just you and your mate, then at the end of the day, the Hammerhead probably not going to be useful for you. The Idris P.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's $1,500 US, real world money, and I remember when it was $1,000. But I was going to say, but at the end of the day, obviously, guys, if you do have a large org, fine, maybe. If you're a single person and you don't have a large org and you want an Idris P, then it's pretty much a dick measuring contest, right, Fez?
Shut up.
Hey, Fez, how many Idrises do you have at this point?
1.
All right. Moving along to the Javelin for a whopping $3,000 US.
That's too rich for my taste.
Really? I thought you had a Javelin.
No.
No? Okay.
Why would I drop 3,000 for a Javelin?
Do we want to talk about how much you spent in this game?
You don't even know how much I've dropped on this game.
Oh, don't I?
You don't.
I do know.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay, how much?
Over $6,000.
Yeah, but you don't know exactly how much. So,
Anyway, moving along. Besides Fez's experience in buying ships, the Javelin. Obviously, guys, look, if you do have a large ship, if you're a large fleet, large org, then obviously the Javelin is A-OK, fine, whatever, if you do have the large org. If you're a single person flying around on your own or with a small group, don't even bother. It's not worth it. It's the same as the Idris. Unless you're going to have 50 to 100 people to man the thing. Yeah, like, if anybody's buying the Idris or the Javelin and thinks that they're just going to be able to fill it up with people because they're going to go and make an LFG group, no, it's not going to happen. People are going to get sick of doing that sort of stuff. But anyway, moving along. Nautilus!
LFG group?
Yeah,
what the hell is they freaking LF? Huh?
Looking for group. LFG.
Oh yeah.
Or LFM. Looking for members.
Yeah, I forgot that the term from my time from Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny, big Destiny thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Nautilus, $725. Um, it's expensive. It's a single purpose ship mostly, but it looks cool. Look, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be able to get away with using a small crew on this. It's not advisable, but you probably could do it. Look, if you have a spare 725 and you want to go doing mine laying and stuff like that, it's going to be something that you are going to get a lot of work. I presume there's going to be a lot of orgs out there that are going to say, hey, we have a system, we have a planet, we're taking control of a planet. So, for example, Lyria, for example. We want you to go through and put a whole bunch of space mines up in the Lyria atmosphere. In orbit above our base. Then you will be able to go through and get contracted work doing that eventually. At the moment, it's not in the game. Mine is not coming. Mine's coming soon, though, isn't it, Fizz? Mine lane? 318, 319, something?
No, that was temporarily removed, I believe.
Alright. So it was on the roadmap. It's been apparently removed. If it's still on the roadmap, and then Fizz is wrong, please address all comments to tacticalferrets@hotmail.com.
Excuse me, what now?
But at the end of the day, look, obviously the Nautilus, it's fine. It's a great looking ship, but it's single purpose, and you could probably get away with 3 or 4 people. So if you do have a lot of extra cash and you do want something fun, then obviously that will be something you can do. The Reclaimer for $400 US. At the end of the day, it is the heavy salvage ship. You're probably going to need anywhere from 4 to 6 crew members plus you to operate this thing. At the end of the day, if you are interested in salvage, there is a smaller ship that is up for sale under Drake. That is the next day or two. That is called the Vulture. But at the end of the day, it's as for a heavy salvage ship, this is the single purpose heavy value ship, or single purpose high value high salvage ship. I'll learn to speak properly. But at the end of the day, obviously, it's single purpose, guys. If you want to do anything but salvage, I suppose you could take your Redeemer down to do box missions, but it's probably going to cost you more in fuel than it is than running it and getting the pay for the boxes. So, at the end of the day, obviously, like I say, if you got 4, 5, 6 people, you want to do salvage, then yes, obviously you'll be able to make some money out of it. But do keep in mind that salvage mechanic is not in the game yet. It is coming soon, reportedly, TM. But at the end of the day, it's not in at the moment. But it is only 400, and I would expect the Reclaimer, I don't know, maybe to go up with salvage? I don't know. The Reclaimer seems cheap for 400. What do you think, Fizz?
It might go up.
Alright, the Redeemer, the badass ship of the galaxy. It is $325 now. We told you it was all going to go up. We warned everybody it was going to go up. We said it. Look, at the end of the day, the Redeemer is obviously great. You can solo it, but do keep in mind you will only have access to 2 or 3 weapons. It is designed for a complement of, say 2, 3 people plus the captain. So, obviously 3 or more people. Obviously, that will allow it to function its turrets and stuff like that at optimal levels. You will be able to put AI blades and stuff in it at a later date and stuff, but at the moment, it is, to run it optimally, you need 3, 4 people. If you do have a small crew and you are into dogfighting, it is obviously a really, really good ship for that. If you want to do bunker missions or any of that sort of stuff, it is really good for that too, because the profile on it is actually quite skinny. So those annoying little lights that CIG loves to put outside of bunker missions, stupid lights. Those lights obviously don't cause much of a problem because you can land in between them. So that is obviously great for the Redeemer, where the Star Runner is a bit fat and she tends to knock them over. But at the end of the day, she is. Let's face it. It does have 1 SU of storage space. You can put boxes in the ship. You can do box missions with it. It's not designed for it, but you can do it. So obviously, if you do want a medium-sized ship or small to medium-sized ship that allows you to do a couple of different things, make a little bit of money, maybe fly over to Pyro or Nynx and become bad guys or become good guys, killing bad guys, it's obviously designed for that. It is a gunboat after all, so obviously do keep in mind that's the purpose. But it is a really, really good ship. It is a lot of fun to fly. It's slow in Atmo, but at the end of the day, she's a gunship. And she can take a beating. Those shields on it are really impressive.
Oh, yeah. So here's a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
The Redeemer has 2 times more shields than the Hammerhead.
Don't keep saying that because CIG will listen one day and they'll take it out.
They designed it like that, so that's their fault.
At the end of the day, the reason I think is because it's designed for taking a beating. I think at the end of the day, you'll find that the hull on the Redeemer will be a lot thinner than it will on the Hammerhead. Yeah, you might be able to get the shields down on the Hammerhead, but then you're going to have to contemplate the armor plating that's on the Hammerhead as well. Where if the Redeemer, well, I think her hull's going to be a little bit wafer thin. That's why I reckon they designed it the way they did. Alright, so moving along, we have the Retaliator, which is basically a bomber. It's the OG bomber. Starfire fans come at me. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's got a size 9, I think it is, isn't it? Torpedo or missile?
The Retaliator?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 size 9s.
6 size 9s. So look, at the end of the day, it's designed to hurt. It is designed to make the capital ships cry. And at the end of the day, that's the idea of it. It's a bomber. And it is very, very good at that. But obviously, keep in mind, look, you can do box missions in it, sure. You can do bunker missions in it, definitely. But at the end of the day, to operate this thing, you do need a crew of about 3 or 4 people. Do keep that in mind. So if you do have a couple of friends, the Retaliator is obviously A-OK. It is only $150, so it is cheap. It is a very, very cheap ship, considering what it does. And at the end of the day, she does a pretty good job. The Retaliator Bomber, which is the bombing version of the Retaliator, maybe?
The Retaliator Bomber is just a Retaliator with with the torpedo bays.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think it's because they were making it modular, weren't they?
They still are.
Yep. So at the end of the day, look, it's obviously $275. It's dearer than the base. But at the end of the day, yeah, slight difference, but yeah. Personally, I would just say the Retaliator itself, just the normal Retaliator. I don't think the bomber is worth an extra $100, to be honest. $115 actually. What would you think, Fez?
The Retaliator, from what I understand, is the Retaliator version is the one that's gonna have the modularity.
Yeah.
And the Retaliator, a bomber is the one that's just gonna have the ship dedicated as just a torpedo, a bomber.
Alright guys, Saber obviously is flight ready. It is a combat stealth fighter. It is fun to fly. She definitely moves. She definitely has a little bit of firepower on her, considering she is a fighter. But at the end of the day, she's just that. Don't expect to go doing box missions on it. It's not like you can put the boxes on the wings either. But at the end of the day, if you want to do something like, for example, bunker missions, maybe, yeah, you could probably do bunker missions in it. You could probably do some bounty missions in it. but you're not like you're not going to be able to do like cargo runs or anything like that. So at the end of the day, do keep in mind that it is generally pretty soul focused on or mainly focused on one or two things that it does. It's not something where you're going to be able to like take it out and do a box mission, because obviously it's a fighter, right? Yeah. All right. Saber Combat is the combat variant of the Saber. It does come with that hideous looking camo paint that looks like a baby has thrown up all over it. But it is obviously $15 dearer as well. But at the end of the day, guys, obviously it just has better weapons and stuff like that, as far as I know.
Ooh.
To be honest, you could probably just update the Saber with the weapons and call it quits. The Vanguard Harbinger. So I believe that's the combat variant, maybe, Fez?
The Harbinger?
Yeah.
I think the Harbinger is the troop transport version.
Is it? Let's have a look. It's $290. Vanguard Harbinger. So it's a powerful bomber.
The Harbinger is the bomber. Okay.
Yeah, it's a powerful bomber that can operate out of the roughest forward operating bases. Then obviously we have the hoplite, which I believe is the normal version. I believe.
I think the hoplite might be the troop transport version.
Yeah. That's what I was just saying.
And the Warden, I think, is the normal.
Yeah, so the hoplite is designed to insert an armored strike team in its target location, and provide with a little bit extra support. And then obviously we have the Sentinel and the Warden. The Sentinel is obviously designed to tear through the shields of... so it's obviously the one with upgraded weapon. So it's obviously the long-range military fighter aspect of it. And then that's the Warden. The Sentinel is the design to have smart instead of taking enemies head on. Conversation is EMP charges. Okay. So it has a decoy missile and a set of EMP charges. The Vanguard Sentinels often provide necessary combat support for combined operations. So it's more like the EMP sort of stuff. It's more like Alright, so, and apart from that, then obviously we have the Vulcan, which is the rearm, repair, refuel ship. It's a multi-run. I think it does rearm. But at the end of the day, it's still in concept. It's only $200. But obviously at the end of the day, it's pretty much going to be sort of mainly used for that sort of stuff. It is in concept, so we don't know what the inside of it looks like yet. But at the end of the day, if I was like questioning to buy things or what would I spend, say I had $300, what would I spend it on? I would probably think about maybe the Redeemer if you had a little extra and $325. Apart from that, I would say probably look at a Gladius for $90. That's definitely worthwhile picking up. And then apart from that, an Avenger Titan for $55 is also a really, really good price as well. And it does multiple things. In fact, if you have a Mustang or a Aurora, I strongly suggest upgrading to the Titan, just because it will give you that extra versatility. Fez, what are your thoughts on the Aegis ships? Which ones are you like, yeah, I want that one?
Well, I got. I mean, I've already got the Redeemer.
Yeah, but if you had like $300 and you didn't have a whole, ship shop full of ships, what would you suggest is worthwhile?
Probably the Warden.
The Warden? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
because it's good for the combat.
Mm.
Um, you don't have to have friends in order to use it effectively.
Mm.
You could theoretically use it for the box missions if
True.
you wanted to.
And bunker missions.
Yeah, and yeah, you could
Mm.
use it for bunker missions too. It has a decent range with the quantum drive as well. So I mean, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, makes some good points. But guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously, at the end of the day, with the ships, obviously, we're just making suggestions. Obviously, guys, you have your own money. It's entirely up to you what to do with it. But that would be our suggestions. Apart from the guys, if you have any other suggestions or any other comments, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Obviously, this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button if you're new to the channel. Welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy. Say bye, ferrets.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody.